Today we look at Abraham as this glorious figure, the first person that signs a convent with God. But now it's not like that. I understand. It's like a mistake that Christian makes, that we must argue about who knows God more. And I feel like you can't be zealous when you don't even have enough knowledge to teach a person, but yet you feel like the way that you prove that you are a true devout Christian is that you know the Bible. And when so many people live a life without God, you should honestly just be able to accept that this person claims that they know God. Because so many people's lives have no God in them. But now, before we get to Abraham, let's start with Moses. Moses was a Hebrew, not a Jew. When they arrived in Egypt, they were Hebrews. They were still descendants of Noah's children. I understand. Isaac takes them to Egypt. And they were as Hebrews. They came out of Egypt into Canaan, and they take Canaan as Hebrews. I understand. So now Moses, when he leaves the comfort of the palace, he goes into Jethro's camp and he marries his daughter. Who's Jethro? Jethro was a person that knew God, preached God, was a priest during the time of Moses. So now what do Moses and Abraham have in common? Is that they didn't say, I know God. They said, God, teach me, show me. And then God gave Moses superpowers. And then he found his children through Abraham. I understand. Let's go to Abraham. Job and Balaam. I love Balaam because of Balaam, his king now tells him to go prosecute the Israelites, since he's devoted. In fact, at that point, they're just a tribe, maybe just arrived in Canaan. But now let's look at Balaam and Job. Job was not near Israel, but he knew God. I understand. He was tested by God. If he doesn't come from Anatolia, which is descendants of the Cushites. If you look at further maps to 1960, you will see that the Panama Canal and Nubia is one land. You can cross there if you are one of us. I understand. So now people don't understand when I say that black people colonized the world before there was colonialism. As our problem as black people, we would attack each other as brothers. Houthis and Tutsis are two factions of Islam that come back to Rwanda. I understand. Nothing special. But now my point is that if we ran the world, in Ireland, there's the Tia Didana people that were alien looking. I understand. In Germany, there was the tick breaker people who believed in descendants of aliens. I understand. So they say. My point is that when did we arrive at believing that instead the black man having coming from Russia to Ireland to China, that we would say that they're aliens? I understand. The Anunnaki, the gods of the Kushites. Anki and Anu had 50 children. That's not a joke. 50 gods. Your God, the God that you believe, it has a wife and a supervisor and a boss, and they're all women. And you don't even know that he reports to supposedly women gods. Here's my point, is that they've taken your history and they've told it and they tell it in a way that's comfortable for them. And you listen. That's what breaks my heart, that we can't even get to a point of you will not tell us who our God is. Sad.